This isn't my usual monthly roundup video, but life and writing have been unusual. Have you ever had a story that you've spent years working off and on? A project that kept you stopping and coming back to it? A book that takes you years and seems to never end? That's the story of the sequel of my debut novel Drawing Red. Drawing Red launched March 1st, 2024. At this point you'll be saying, but the date is mid-February 2025. That's not exactly a novel in a month, but a year for a first draft isn't too bad, right? Looking back at my Scrivener history, I began writing the first draft of this sequel in August 2022. It's February 2025. I am 2 chapters away from what has been a never-ending writing project. People told me the second book would be harder to write. I agree, but I didn't at the time. Book 1 I plotted in 6 months and drafted my first draft across a year. Book 2 I plotted in 3 months. I thought that was fantastic progress. I knew what I was doing. I'd done it before. Round 2 would be quicker now I knew what I'm doing. Right? Hard no. In my infinite wisdom, I decided to make the sequel a dual POV, whereas Drawing Red was single POV. Big mistake. My autism plus the head hopping meant I had to take breaks between each chapter and main character swap. I draft in order, so I kept needing time to go back and see where the other character and plot was up to every time I started a new chapter. It was like 2 stories at once. If there's anything I've learned this year, it's that I'm a one project at a time writer. I decided to publish my first novel as a form of procrastination from writing the sequel. True story. I bought myself a bunch of ISBNs in November 2023 and Drawing Red came out the March after. Drawing Red took me 5 years, possibly 6, to plot, write and publish. So far, the sequel is on track to take longer. Another reason, life happened, and the opposite. There's been a lot of ill health, continuing and deteriorating health conditions for me and household members, and too many trips to hospitals, plural, to count. These things took up a lot of energy and concentration, meaning writing had to go on the back burner. Another reason is the subjects in this book at some points hit too close to home with everything going on. So much so, in fact, that during a run of recurring hospital visits last year, I took time out to start plotting the beginnings of a paranormal romantic comedy to cheer myself up. It's something I'd like to work on firming up the plans of after I finally finish this never-ending draft, and sticking in a drawer to rest. Yesterday I wrote for the first time in over a month, and those life challenges I told you about brought about life changes, and as an autistic person with chronic fatigue, change takes a long time to get used to. I've adapted to a new way of life, and I'm slowly reintroducing writing back into it. This draft has taken so long, with so many gaps, that I've had to try and rearrange my plot notes and work out what I meant in vague sections written 2 years ago. With all that said, I'm 2 chapters, 4 scenes and possibly an epilogue away from finishing this novel. My goal is 500 words a day. Let's see if I can finish it by summer. And that is not a typo. Last but not least is expectation and demand avoidance. There is now an expectation for a second book following the first, and that puts pressure on me in a way that automatically triggers a nope response. I'm determined it will get finished, no matter how long it takes, and given all the hiatuses I've been on with this, it will be interesting to read through and spot the pacing and writing style changes after so many gaps. If you have any novels that were stop and start like this, let me know and tell me what happened in the comments.